This is your girl Katia Moon coming to you live from the Moon Space where we game, we chat, we discuss authors and their books, and I give you tips on how to be a good author. So, grab a snack, get comfortable, and we're going to settle in for the vibes. Now, the title of this stream is, in fact, How to Become an Author. Now, there are a couple of ways you can go about it. You can just start writing, or you can go the path of education by taking creative writing courses. I cannot give you that path because I didn't go that route. I essentially had an idea and I started writing. First, it was with fan fiction and then with original novels. However, in order for you to be a better writer, it is definitely best to build your skills. So, first, you gotta consistently write, finish a manuscript, and then choose whether or not of your publishing path. Like I said, I'm not in the traditional publishing. I am indie author, so I do it all myself. I can only give you my knowledge for the path that I have taken. One thing for sure though, whether you want to write fiction or nonfiction, you have to start by writing, and that means writing daily. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes or 50, as long as you're writing. You can also seek out people to read your stuff, but I will say sometimes you don't have to do that because unfortunately a lot of us are very particular about what we do, and hearing criticism from the wrong person can ruin your perspective or your passion actually for reading, not reading, writing. So it kind of depends on how you would feel. If you have thick skin, then go for it. If you are more or less sensitive, I would say don't go that route right away. And above all, definitely read. As an author, we should be reading just as much as we are writing, because the more you read, the better you get at your craft. And you don't necessarily have to read in the same genre that you want to write in. You can read in any genre because I've said before, even though this should have been the first step instead of going straight into everything else, every genre there's gonna be a little bit of something else mixed into it. So if you're reading science fiction, they may have a little bit of fantasy, there may be a little bit of romance or thriller, psychological. It just all depends, and it's best to continue reading. So you got to build your skills, which is writing all the time, making sure that you're reading, and if you are brave enough, going forward with having someone reading your work. It doesn't even have to be a full-length novel. It can be a short story, it could be flash fiction, it could be poems, it could literally be anything that you've written that you want someone to read. Ooh, I've been talking a lot today. And then obviously, once you've written it and gone the path that you want to take, then let's make sure I got everything. Okay. Prepare Kristoff's climbing gear at a crafting station. Alright, once you've written it, you've gotten the editing done, you've gotten your critiques. And again, critiques are just that, critiques. You do not have to take them. You can just toss it into the wind. It does not matter. It's whatever you choose to do when it comes to that. Then you have to choose your path. Like I said, you can go the traditional publishing or you can go self-publishing. And there's so many paths you can take going self-publishing. They have the pay per episode model. There's just publishing directly onto Amazon, Barnes and Noble. There's Kobo. There's a few others. I just can't think of them right now. There's like Patron. Patron? I think it's Patron. I don't really know. There's plenty of paths that you can take when you are ready to publish. But again, you find what's best for you. So definitely, damn, this was so much shorter than I thought it would be. uh, and I, I think going the route of traditional publishing, you definitely have to do query letters and pitch your manuscripts to literary agents, and in turn they sell your books for you. So it's what do we do now? Bring the gear to, I don't know. It's a lot, but if you go the self-publishing route, I mean, you are going to have to handle everything yourself. There is the book covers, and you have to be careful about that because um unfortunately, I came across an author who hired a designer for their book cover, and the designer used Gen AI, and they weren't aware of it. They were happy with their cover, but unfortunately, they realized that it was Gen AI, and that's what sucks. They unfortunately, okay, you right there. They unfortunately was blamed for it, so it definitely sucks. There's also, I'm trying to talk to you. There's also the editing. Uh, some people, I don't want to say they all do this. However, there are some people who claim that they are editors and they don't do a good job. And I've talked about this before on the editing one where there's line edit, development editor. Like there's so many proofreading. There's so many ways that you go about and having your work looked at by somebody else to make sure that there are no misspelled words. Punctuation is where it's supposed to be. Everything flows accurately. And there are some that won't actually do that job and charge you an obscene amount of money. Whereas me personally, because I know how hard it is when you go the route of an indie author, that's why I started editing. I've been editing my works for about, I've been editing my works since about almost 5 years now, because I started editing my works the year my mom passed away with the Billionaire's Baby Mama. And of course, like there were still some things that I hadn't learned, and obviously I'm still learning and still getting better at it. But when you know better, you do better. Let's see. There's also formatting. Formatting is definitely something that you have to do for the document. My younger sister was nice enough to get me a link. Now I can't remember where it is. I just know it was on YouTube. She was nice enough to find another author who taught me how to format, and I've had the same formatting ever since. I can tell you all of that as well, but right now first we're starting with the basics. That's not correct English. We're starting with the basics. Yeah, that's right. So if you're in this for the money, I can tell you right now, it is going to cost you far more to be an author versus like getting paid as an author. Because if you go the indie route again, it's gonna cost you a lot. If you go the traditional route, you get in advance, from my understanding. So, eh. And on top of that, like as a indie author, it is better for you to have a backlog, which is similar to a catalog, or at least I'm not entirely sure how many, because like the more you have, the better chances you have of being found. Personally, like I said, I have about 17, 18 titles. And I say that because at least 5 of those short stories are put into one volume. So that's why it's, but I literally have that many out. Uh, a few of them are short stories, the rest of them are like really big, thick novels. So it just kind of depends on the route you take if you do go the self publishing route. And keep in mind, KDP, Amazon, is not the only place that you can go to publish your works. You do not have to just stick with Amazon. Yeah, Amazon is like the biggest now, but it's not the only option. Um, Let me think. So, definitely write every day. Make sure that you're reading. Um, if you want to have someone critique your work, let's see. Make sure that vet anybody that you, if you go the indie route, definitely vet whoever it is that you choose to hire for a um, cover designer or editing, formatting, all of that stuff. You definitely need to triple check the whoever you decide to hire. Um, I think that's all. Like, I know it can sound daunting and it can be very much overwhelming, but if you love writing, you just go for it. Um, there are times where I do think about going to school for creative writing, maybe to learn the mechanics of it and also to get better. But with my lifestyle, unfortunately, that's not possible. So I am kind of like doing my own thing. I love writing. Writing has been a part of my life since I want to say I was like 8 or 9 years old. I've been writing that long, and I know I've said this before. I have always written, whether it was lyrics, which now, unfortunately, I can't write lyrics, which is a crazy thing to me. Uh, I've written poems, I've written short stories, novels, fan fiction. Literally, a few of my books actually made sinful is actually fan fiction that I altered to be original works. I have another one, which I really do need to go back to that one, that was also fan fiction that I've been working on changing into an original work. The problem, like I changed the names already. The problem is like I need to write the beginning part of it instead of, because it literally it was fan fiction. So it's definitely something that you can do. I have heard of other authors that started with fan fiction and have changed it and turned it into an original work. Some of those authors went the traditional route because like it was so popular that traditional publishers wanted the novel. Personally, for me, I don't think I can ever go the traditional route because to me, going the traditional route, I would lose more of my voice. And it's really hard to find editors that understand AAV and, you know, being a black author. So that's the reason why I won't go that route. However, if you want to write, just write. Don't let anyone stop you. Don't worry about the criticism. If you just write all the time and nobody's ever seen your work, that's fine. Eventually, you'll get the courage to either publish it, let somebody else read it, or both. Like, my main thing is write because you love it. I mean, you can make a shit ton of money being an author eventually, but it doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't be in it for the money. You should be in it because you want to be. Why is this not opening up now? Ah! Okay, come on. Oh no, it's not working anymore. Okay, so if you like, I'm gonna actually start going back over all of this stuff again. So next time it'll be about the genres again, and then like the punctuation and editing, formatting. I'll definitely do one about formatting. Did I get money? Yay! I got money! Yes! I'm gonna leave that money right there. So, yeah, there's gonna be a full series. I'm gonna keep rehashing this because honestly, if you are in America, unfortunately, we have a literary crisis, and I do believe people should be reading more. Whether it's romance, erotica, science fiction, fantasy, nonfiction, like it could be anything as long as you're reading. That's all that matters to me. All right. Whoops. Once I show him this, he'll have to remember me. I know it. I'm gonna bring this to Kristoff right now. Awesome. Let me go harass. Oh shit! I gotta follow her. I was about to go harass.
I do prefer moving in the
The way.
shadows.
Hey Anna, I've really been trying to remember more. I promise, but it's not going very well. Not to worry, I've got something here that should do the trick. Why are you waving an old climbing gear at me, bro? For real? Wait, this is my old climbing gear. Do you remember it? Do you remember me? I remember a girl with red hair. That's kind of fucked up. And the nicest smile of anyone I've ever seen. I'm gonna met. Oh, one more thing. I remember us laughing together as she tried to help me after I fell. Aww, you remember that. You really remember. What else? And that's all I've got. I'm sorry, Anna, I don't remember anything else. Oh Lord. But hey, maybe me and that red-haired girl with the beautiful smile could start to make some new memories. Bro! Yeah. Yeah, I'd like that a lot. Oh, who,
My
bro? I was
friends,
about
the
to
trolls, would
say.
love them.
Alright, see how Anna feels. I mean, shit, I feel terrible for her, for real. Yeah. Let's see. I get money. I get money. What? What are you talking about? Did you already take money and moved it to my savings? You did. I'm not sure about my savings now. Okay. I guess that works out.